By focusing on these areas, you can enhance your knowledge and skills, making you better prepared for the CPC exam and your future career in counseling. Major theoretical orientations and movements. Notables, no links. I am a student preparing for the CPC exam. To help me succeed, please explain in 400 or more words the following topic using simple words suitable for a 12th grade understanding. Include key concepts, important details, and any examples that could help illustrate the topic. Make sure to break down complex terms and ideas so that everything is easy to understand. The topic is psychoanalytic theory. Key concepts: ID, ego, superego, unconscious, preconscious, conscious, eros, thanatos, libido, Oedipus complex, psychosexual stages, ego defense mechanisms, transference, interpretation. Psychoanalytic theory. Psychoanalytic theory, developed by Sigmund Freud in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is a framework for understanding human behavior, thoughts, and emotions. It emphasizes the role of the unconscious mind in shaping our experiences and actions. This theory introduces several key concepts that help us comprehend how our minds work, especially regarding our desires, fears, and relationships. In this guide, we will break down these concepts and provide examples to make them easier to understand. 1. Key concepts of psychoanalytic theory. ID, ego, and superego. Freud proposed that our personality is made up of three parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. These components interact with each other to influence our behavior and decision-making. ID. The ID is the most basic part of our personality. It is present from birth and operates entirely in the unconscious mind. The ID is driven by the pleasure principle, which means it seeks immediate gratification of our desires and wants. For example, if a child is hungry, the ID compels them to cry until they receive food. The ID is impulsive and does not consider the consequences of its actions. Ego. The ego develops as we grow and learn and navigate the real world. It operates on the reality principle, meaning it tries to satisfy the ID's desires in a socially acceptable way. The ego is partly conscious and partly unconscious. For instance, if the ID wants to eat a cake, the ego might suggest waiting until after dinner to avoid spoiling the meal. The ego balances the demands of the ID with the constraints of reality and the rules of society. Superego. The superego represents our moral standards and ideals. It develops as we internalize the values and norms of our parents and society. The superego is responsible for our conscience, which makes us feel guilty when we do something wrong. For example, if someone considers stealing, the superego might cause feelings of guilt, preventing them from acting on that impulse. The superego strives for perfection and judges our actions, often pushing us to follow rules and ethical guidelines. Unconscious, preconscious, and conscious mind. Freud divided the mind into three levels of awareness: the unconscious, the preconscious, and the conscious. Unconscious mind. The unconscious mind contains thoughts, memories, and desires that are not easily accessible. These elements can influence our behavior in ways we may not be aware of. For example, someone might have a fear of dogs due to a traumatic experience in childhood that they cannot consciously recall. The unconscious mind shapes our actions and feelings, often without our knowledge. Preconscious mind. The preconscious mind holds thoughts and memories that are not currently in our awareness, but can be brought to consciousness easily. For example, if you're asked to remember your first day of school, you might not be thinking about it at that moment, but you can recall the memory when prompted. The preconscious serves as a bridge between the unconscious and conscious minds. Conscious mind. The conscious mind includes everything we are currently aware of and thinking about. This is where our active thoughts, feelings, and perceptions exist. For instance, when you're solving a math problem, you're using your conscious mind to focus on the task at hand. Eros and Thanatos. Freud believed that human behavior is driven by two primary instincts: Eros and Thanatos. Eros also known as the life instinct, represents our desire for survival, reproduction, and pleasure. It encompasses our drive for love, connection, and creativity. For example, people often seek relationships and engage in activities that bring joy and fulfillment, driven by the Eros instinct. Thanatos, or the death instinct, represents our unconscious desire for aggression, destruction, and a return to an inorganic state. This concept is more complex as it relates to our tendencies towards self-destructive behaviors or aggression toward others. For example, someone might engage in risky behaviors like reckless driving, which could stem from an unconscious desire to escape life's pressures or challenges. Libido. Libido is a term that Freud used to refer to sexual energy or drive. He believed that libido is a vital force that motivates human behavior, not just in sexual contexts, but also in other aspects of life, such as creativity and relationships. The way we express our libido can evolve throughout our lives, influenced by various factors, including our experiences and developmental stages. Oedipus complex. The Oedipus complex is one of Freud's most famous and controversial ideas. It refers to a child's unconscious desire for the opposite sex parent and feelings of rivalry with the same-sex parent. Freud believed that this complex occurs during the phallic stage of psychosexual development, typically around ages 3 to 6. For example, a young boy might develop a strong attachment to his mother and view his father as a rival for her affection. Freud suggested that resolving this complex is crucial for healthy psychological development, as it helps the child identify with the same-sex parent and develop a sense of gender identity. Psychosexual stages. Freud proposed that human development occurs in a series of stages, each characterized by a different focus of pleasure and conflict. These stages are: 1. Oral stage. In this stage, an infant's pleasure centers around the mouth. Activities like sucking and biting are essential for feeding and comfort. Fixation at this stage may lead to issues like dependency or aggression in adulthood. 2. Anal stage. During the anal stage, the focus shifts to controlling bladder and bowel movements. Toilet training is a significant event, and how parents handle this can impact the child's personality. For instance, overly strict toilet training may lead to an anal retentive personality, characterized by orderliness and stubbornness. 3. Phallic stage. In this stage, children become aware of their bodies and develop feelings for the opposite sex parent, as described in the Oedipus complex. Boys may experience castration anxiety, while girls may experience penis envy. Successful resolution leads to identification with the same-sex parent and the development of a mature sexual identity. 4. Latency stage. This stage is characterized by a period of sexual calm. Children focus on developing skills, friendships, and intellectual pursuits rather than sexual interests. It is a time for learning and socialization. 5. Genital stage. The final stage is marked by the emergence of mature sexual relationships. Adolescents begin to explore romantic relationships and develop a sense of balance between their desires and societal expectations. Successful navigation of this stage results in healthy relationships and a well-adjusted adulthood. Ego defense mechanisms. Freud identified several defense mechanisms that the ego uses to protect itself from anxiety and conflict. These mechanisms help individuals cope with stress and maintain psychological stability. Some common defense mechanisms include repression. This involves pushing uncomfortable thoughts or memories into the unconscious mind. For example, someone may repress memories of a traumatic event, which can lead to anxiety or emotional issues later on. Denial. Denial involves refusing to accept reality or the truth of a situation. For instance, a person who is struggling with addiction may deny they have a problem, even when evidence suggests otherwise. Projection. Projection involves attributing one's own unacceptable thoughts or feelings to someone else. For example, if someone feels angry but cannot express it, they might accuse others of being hostile. Displacement. Displacement involves redirecting emotions from the original source to a safer target. For example, someone who is angry at their boss might come home and take out their frustration on their family. Rationalization. This defense mechanism involves justifying behavior or thoughts with logical reasons, even if they are not the true motivations. For instance, a student who fails an exam might blame the teacher's unfair grading instead of acknowledging their lack of preparation. Transference. Transference is a phenomenon that occurs in therapy when a patient unconsciously redirects feelings and attitude from past relationships onto the therapist. This can include emotions like love, anger, or dependency. For example, a patient who had a strict father might see their therapist as a parental figure and react to them in similar ways. Recognizing transference can be a valuable tool in therapy, as it helps patients understand their feelings and relationships more deeply. Interpretation. Interpretation is a technique used by therapists to help patients understand the meaning of their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Freud believed that dreams, slips of the tongue, and free associations could reveal insights into the unconscious mind. For instance, if a patient frequently dreams about falling, a therapist might interpret this as a fear of loss of control in their life. Through interpretation, individuals can gain insight into their motivations and make sense of their experiences. 2. Examples to illustrate key concepts. Example of ID, ego, and superego. Imagine a scenario where a student is studying for an important exam. ID. The student feels a strong urge to go out with friends instead of studying. The ID pushes them to think only about immediate pleasure and fun. Ego. The ego steps in to find a balance. It recognizes the desire to have fun, but also acknowledges the importance of studying for the exam. The ego might suggest that the student can go out for a short time, but should return home to study afterward. Superego. The superego brings in moral considerations. It might remind the student of the values instilled by their parents about responsibility and the importance of education. The superego may create feelings of guilt if the student chooses to neglect studying. Example of the Oedipus complex. Consider a young boy named Alex who is about 4 years old. He has a close relationship with his mother, often seeking her attention and affection. At the same time, he sees his father as a rival for her love. Alex might express jealousy when his mother hugs his father, feeling a strong desire to be the center of her world. This dynamic illustrates the Oedipus complex, where Alex's feelings toward his parents create internal conflict. Example of ego defense mechanisms. Let's take the example of Sarah, who has been working hard at her job, but feels anxious about her performance. Repression. Sarah may unconsciously push away thoughts of her anxiety, convincing herself that everything is fine even when she feels overwhelmed. Denial. When her friends ask her how work is going, she insists that she loves her job and that there's nothing to worry about, even though she feels stressed. Projection. If Sarah feels insecure about her performance, she might accuse her colleagues of being jealous of her success, projecting her own insecurities onto them. Displacement. After receiving criticism from her boss, Sarah might come home and snap at her partner over something trivial, displacing her frustration. Rationalization. If Sarah misses a deadline, she might rationalize it by saying that the work environment is too chaotic and that it's not her fault. Example of transference. During therapy, a patient named Mark may start to feel an intense connection with his therapist, viewing her as a maternal figure. He might find himself reacting to her in ways that reflect his feelings toward his own mother, such as seeking approval or feeling angry when he perceives criticism. Recognizing this transference helps Mark explore unresolved feelings from his childhood. Example of interpretation. In therapy, a client named Lily shares a recurring dream where she is lost in a maze. The therapist interprets this dream as a representation of Lily's feelings of confusion and lack of direction in her life. By discussing the dream, they can explore her feelings about her career choices and relationships, helping her gain clarity and insight into her situation. Conclusion. Psychoanalytic theory provides a rich framework for understanding the complexities of human behavior and the mind. By exploring key concepts such as the ID, ego and superego, the unconscious mind, eros and thanatos, the Oedipus complex psychosexual stages, ego defense mechanisms, transference, and interpretation, we can gain valuable insights into our motivations, fears, and relationships. While Freud's ideas have faced criticism and evolved over time, his contributions laid the groundwork for modern psychology and continue to influence our understanding of human nature. By recognizing the interplay between our conscious and unconscious minds, we can better navigate our thoughts and feelings, ultimately leading to personal growth and self-awareness. Individual psychology. Key concepts: striving for superiority, lifestyle, birth order, family constellation, social connectedness, fictional finalism. Individual psychology. Individual psychology is a theory developed by Alfred Adler in the early 20th century. Adler was a contemporary of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, but he had a different perspective on human behavior and motivation. Individual psychology focuses on the uniqueness of each individual and emphasizes the importance of social connections and personal growth. In this guide, we will explore the key concepts of Adler's theory, breaking them down into simple terms and providing examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of individual psychology. 1. Striving for superiority. At the core of Adler's theory is the idea of striving for superiority. This concept doesn't mean being better than others in a competitive sense. Rather, it refers to an individual's drive to achieve personal goals and improve oneself. Adler believed that everyone has a natural desire to overcome challenges and fulfill their potential. For example, consider a student who struggles in school. Instead of accepting failure, the student may work hard to improve their grades. This desire to succeed and grow reflects their striving for superiority. Adler believed that this striving is a fundamental part of human nature that motivates people to pursue their dreams and ambitions. 2. Lifestyle. Adler introduced the concept of lifestyle, which refers to the unique way each individual approaches life and makes choices. A person's lifestyle is shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and values. It is how they understand and respond to the world around them. For instance, if someone grows up in a supportive environment where their achievements are celebrated, they might develop a positive lifestyle characterized by confidence and a willingness to take risks. In contrast, someone who faced criticism and neglect during childhood may develop a lifestyle that is more cautious or defensive. Adler believed that understanding one's lifestyle is crucial for personal growth. By becoming aware of their patterns of thinking and behavior, individuals can make changes that lead to a more fulfilling life. 3. Birth order. Adler also emphasized the importance of birth order in shaping personality and behavior. He believed that the order in which a child is born in a family can influence their experiences and how they view themselves. Firstborn children often receive a lot of attention and may develop leadership qualities. They might feel responsible and strive to excel, but they can also experience pressure to meet expectations. Middle children may feel overlooked and strive to develop their identity separate from their siblings. They often become good negotiators and may be more adaptable. Youngest children tend to be more free-spirited and may receive more leniency from parents. They often learn to be charming and may seek attention or approval from others. Only children may develop traits similar to firstborns, as they often receive undivided attention and may struggle with social skills due to less interaction with siblings. Understanding birth order can help individuals recognize patterns in their behavior and relationships, leading to greater self-awareness. 4. Family constellation. Family constellation refers to the overall dynamics and relationships within a family. Adler believed that these dynamics play a crucial role in shaping an individual's personality and lifestyle. For example, a child in a nurturing environment where parents communicate effectively and support each other may develop a strong sense of self-worth. In contrast, a child in a chaotic or dysfunctional family might struggle with feelings of inadequacy or insecurity. Adler emphasized that understanding one's family constellation can provide insights into personal challenges and motivations. By examining family roles and relationships, individuals can identify areas for growth and healing. 5. Social connectedness. Adler placed a strong emphasis on the idea of social connectedness, which refers to the importance of relationships and community in an individual's life. He believed that humans are inherently social beings who thrive on connections with others. Healthy relationships contribute to a sense of belonging and fulfillment. For instance, someone who actively engages in their community or maintains strong friendships is likely to experience greater happiness and a sense of purpose. Adler argued that feelings of inferiority or loneliness can arise when individuals feel disconnected from others. By fostering social connections, people can overcome feelings of inadequacy and develop a more positive self-image. 6. Fictional finalism. Adler introduced the concept of fictional finalism, which refers to the idea that individuals are motivated by their imagined goals or ideals about the future. These goals may not necessarily be based on reality, but they guide a person's actions and decisions. For example, a young athlete may envision themselves becoming a professional sports star. This vision drives them to train hard, practice regularly, and stay focused on their goal. Even if the athlete faces setbacks, their imagined future keeps them motivated to continue working toward success. Fictional finalism suggests that people create narratives about their lives that help them make sense of their experiences and guide their behavior. By understanding these narratives, individuals can gain insight into their motivations and make more informed choices. Examples to illustrate key concepts. Example of striving for superiority. Imagine a girl named Mia who struggles with her math skills in school. Instead of giving up, she seeks help from her teacher and spends extra time studying. This determination to improve her abilities showcases her striving for superiority. Mia's desire to overcome her challenges and succeed reflects Adler's belief that people are motivated to grow and achieve their potential. Example of lifestyle. Consider a young man named Jason who grew up in a highly competitive family where success was prioritized. As an adult, Jason adopts a lifestyle focused on achievement, often pushing himself to work long hours to climb the corporate ladder. However, he may also struggle with stress and anxiety due to his relentless pursuit of success. By recognizing his lifestyle, Jason can evaluate whether it aligns with his true values and make changes to prioritize his well-being. Example of birth order. In a family with 3 children, the firstborn, Sarah, often takes on a leadership role and feels responsible for her siblings. The middle child, Alex, feels the need to stand out and may be more independent. The youngest child, Lily, enjoys being the center of attention and often seeks help from her older siblings. Each child's personality and approach to life can be understood better by considering their birth order and how it affects their roles in the family. Example of family constellation. A boy named Ethan grows up in a family where his parents are frequently arguing. As a result, Ethan may feel anxious and uncertain about his relationships. Understanding his family constellation helps him recognize that his feelings of insecurity stem from the chaotic environment he grew up in. By addressing these issues in therapy, Ethan can work toward developing healthy relationships in his adult life. Example of social connectedness. Imagine a woman named Lisa who regularly volunteers at a local community center. Through her involvement, she builds strong friendships and feels a sense of belonging. Lisa's social connections provide her with support and fulfillment, illustrating Adler's belief that social connectedness is essential for personal happiness and growth. Example of fictional finalism. A teenager named Tom dreams of becoming a doctor. This vision motivates him to study hard in school and volunteer at hospitals. Even when he faces challenges, such as poor grades in some subjects, his imagined future keeps him focused on his goal. Tom's commitment to his dream exemplifies fictional finalism, as his goal shapes his actions and decisions. Conclusion. Individual psychology offers a unique perspective on human behavior and personal development. By exploring key concepts such as striving for superiority, lifestyle, birth order, family constellation, social connectedness, and fictional finalism, we gain valuable insights into how individuals navigate their lives. Adler's emphasis on the importance of social connections and personal growth encourages us to recognize our potential and strive for a fulfilling life. By understanding these concepts, we can better comprehend ourselves and others, leading to healthier relationships and a greater sense of purpose. Analytic psychology. Key concepts: anima, animus, persona, shadow, self, collective unconscious, archetypes, individuation, introversion, extroversion. Analytic psychology. Analytic psychology is a theory developed by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist, in the early 20th century. Jung's ideas focus on understanding the human mind and behavior through the exploration of the unconscious. He believed that our thoughts, feelings, and actions are influenced by deeper layers of the psyche. This guide will break down the key concepts of Jung's analytic psychology in simple terms, providing examples to help illustrate each idea. Key concepts of analytic psychology. 1. Anima and animus. Jung introduced the concepts of anima and animus to describe the feminine and masculine aspects within each person, regardless of their biological sex. Anima. The anima represents the feminine qualities within a man. It includes traits such as intuition, empathy, and emotional sensitivity. For example, a man who is in touch with his anima might express his feelings openly, appreciate beauty, and connect deeply with others. Animus. The animus represents the masculine qualities within a woman. It includes traits such as logic, assertiveness, and rational thinking. For instance, a woman who embraces her animus may be confident in her decisions, assert her opinions, and approach problems with analytical thinking. Jung believed that recognizing and integrating these aspects of anima and animus is essential for personal growth and achieving a balanced personality. Dos persona. The persona refers to the social mask or public image that a person presents to the world. It is the version of ourselves that we show to others, shaped by societal expectations and roles. For example, a student may act differently at school, where they are expected to be disciplined, compared to at home, where they can be more relaxed. While the persona helps individuals navigate social interactions, it can also create a disconnect from one's true self. If someone relies too heavily on their persona, they may lose touch with their authentic feelings and desires. Jung believed that understanding and integrating the persona is crucial for personal development. 3. Shadow. The shadow represents the darker, hidden aspects of the personality that individuals often suppress or ignore. It includes traits, impulses, and emotions that are socially unacceptable or undesirable. For example, someone may have feelings of anger or jealousy that they do not want to acknowledge. Jung believed that recognizing and confronting the shadow is important for personal growth. By integrating these hidden aspects, individuals can gain a better understanding of themselves and become more whole. For instance, if someone acknowledges their feelings of jealousy, they can work through these emotions instead of projecting them onto others. 4. Self. The self is a central concept in Jung's theory, representing the totality of the personality. It encompasses both the conscious and unconscious aspects of the individual. The self is often depicted as a circle, symbolizing wholeness and balance. Jung believed that achieving a strong sense of self is essential for personal development. This process involves integrating different parts of the personality, including the persona, shadow, anima, and animus. A well-developed self leads to greater self-awareness and fulfillment in life. 5. Collective unconscious. One of Jung's most significant contributions is the concept of the collective unconscious. Unlike the personal unconscious, which contains an individual's unique experiences, the collective unconscious is a shared layer of the unconscious mind that holds universal memories and archetypes common to all humans. Jung believed that the collective unconscious contains the experiences and knowledge of humanity throughout history. For example, myths, symbols, and themes found in different cultures are part of this collective unconscious. This concept explains why people from diverse backgrounds may have similar dreams and experiences. 6. Archetypes. Archetypes are universal symbols and themes that emerge from the collective unconscious. They represent fundamental human experiences and emotions. Some common archetypes include: the hero represents bravery and the journey to overcome challenges. For example, in many stories, the hero faces trials and ultimately grows stronger. The mother symbolizes nurturing, care, and protection. This archetype can be seen in figures like Mother Nature or nurturing characters in literature. The wise old man woman represents wisdom, guidance, and insight. Characters like Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings embody this archetype. Jung believed that recognizing these archetypes can help individuals understand their own experiences and feelings as they resonate with universal human themes. 7. Individuation. Individuation is the process of becoming aware of and integrating different aspects of the self to achieve personal wholeness. This journey involves exploring the unconscious, confronting the shadow, and embracing both the anima and animus. For example, a person may undergo individuation by recognizing their fears, understanding their motivations, and accepting both their strengths and weaknesses. This process leads to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Jung believed that individuation is essential for personal growth and self-actualization. 8. Introversion and extroversion. Jung introduced the concepts of introversion and extroversion to describe different personality types and how individuals engage with the world. Introversion. Introverts are more focused on their inner thoughts and feelings. They often prefer solitary activities and may feel drained after social interactions. For example, an introverted person might enjoy reading or writing alone and need time to recharge after attending a party. Extroversion. Extroverts are more outwardly focused and energized by social interactions. They tend to enjoy being around others and often seek out social activities. For instance, an extroverted person may thrive in group settings and feel invigorated after spending time with friends. Jung believed that everyone has both introverted and extroverted tendencies, but individuals typically lean more toward one side. Understanding these personality traits can help individuals navigate their relationships and environments more effectively. Examples to illustrate key concepts. Example of anima and animus. Consider a young man named David. He has always been practical and logical, focusing on his career. However, he struggles with expressing his emotions and connecting with others. By recognizing and embracing his anima, David starts to explore his feelings and becomes more open, ultimately leading to healthier relationships. On the other hand, think of a woman named Emily. She is nurturing and empathetic, but often doubts her abilities in her career. By acknowledging her animus, Emily learns to assert herself and take charge in professional situations, boosting her confidence. Example of persona. Imagine a teenager named Alex who feels pressure to fit in at school. He adopts a persona of being carefree and popular, even though he feels anxious and unsure inside. Over time, Alex realizes that this persona is not who he truly is. By exploring his authentic self, he learns to express his genuine interests and connect with others on a deeper level, finding true friendships. Example of shadow. Consider a woman named Sarah who often feels frustrated with her colleagues. She initially projects her irritation onto them, blaming them for her feelings. However, through self-reflection, she recognizes that her shadow includes her own insecurities about her work performance. By acknowledging these feelings, Sarah can address her frustrations constructively and improve her work relationships. Example of self. Think of a man named John who has spent years pursuing success in his career but feels unfulfilled. By exploring different aspects of himself, including his passions and relationships, John starts to integrate these elements into his life. Through this process of individuation, he develops a stronger sense of self, leading to greater satisfaction and happiness. Example of collective unconscious. Imagine a child named Mia who loves stories about heroes and mythical creatures. Without any exposure to different cultures, she creates her own tales that mirror themes found in ancient myths. This reflects the influence of the collective unconscious, as Mia taps into universal motifs that resonate with people across time and space. Example of archetypes. Consider a popular movie featuring a character who embarks on a journey to save their community. This hero's journey is an archetype that resonates with audiences because it reflects a fundamental human experience of overcoming challenges and personal growth. Example of individuation. A young woman named Lisa feels lost after graduating college. Initially, she follows societal expectations without questioning her own desires. Through therapy and self-exploration, Lisa begins to confront her fears, embrace her creativity, and integrate her various interests. This journey of individuation helps her discover her true passions and leads her toward a fulfilling career. Example of introversion and extroversion. Think of a student named Michael who enjoys quiet evenings spent reading or drawing. He often feels exhausted after attending social events. This indicates his introverted nature. In contrast, his friend Jessica thrives in social settings, often organizing gatherings and enjoying the energy of large groups. Understanding their differences allows both Michael and Jessica to appreciate their unique personalities and find balance in their friendship. Conclusion. Analytic psychology, as developed by Carl Jung, offers valuable insights into the complexities of the human psyche. By exploring key concepts such as anima, animus, persona, shadow, self, collective unconscious, archetypes, individuation, introversion, and extroversion, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationships with others. Jung's emphasis on the unconscious and the importance of personal growth encourages us to explore our inner worlds, embrace our unique qualities, and strive for wholeness. By applying these concepts, individuals can lead more fulfilling lives and achieve a greater sense of self-awareness and connection to others. Behaviorism. Key concepts: classical conditioning, operant conditioning, systematic desensitization, flooding, behavior modification. Behaviorism. Behaviorism is a psychological theory that focuses on observable behaviors rather than internal thoughts or feelings. This approach emphasizes the idea that all behaviors are learned through interactions with the environment. Behaviorists believe that by understanding how behaviors are acquired and maintained, we can change or modify them. This guide will explain key concepts within behaviorism in simple terms and provide examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of behaviorism. 1. Classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a learning process that was first discovered by Ivan Pavlov, a Russian psychologist. It involves learning through association. In classical conditioning, a neutral stimulus becomes associated with a meaningful stimulus, leading to a learned response. Example: Pavlov's famous experiment involved dogs. He noticed that dogs would salivate when they saw food. He then rang a bell every time he presented the food. After several repetitions, the dogs began to salivate just by hearing the bell, even when no food was presented. In this case, the bell became a conditioned stimulus, and the salivation became a conditioned response. 2. Operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is another form of learning developed by B.F. Skinner. This process involves learning through consequences, specifically reinforcement and punishment. In operant conditioning, behaviors are shaped by rewards or consequences. Reinforcement. This increases the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. It can be positive or negative. Example: if a student studies hard and receives praise from a teacher, the praise acts as positive reinforcement, encouraging the student to study more in the future. Conversely, if a student does not complete their homework and is grounded, that serves as negative reinforcement, discouraging the behavior of not doing homework. Punishment. This decreases the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. It can also be positive or negative. Example: a child who misbehaves might receive a timeout, making them less likely to misbehave in the future. On the other hand, if a teenager who frequently comes home late loses privileges, such as going out with friends, that also discourages the unwanted behavior. 3. Systematic desensitization. Systematic desensitization is a therapeutic technique used to help individuals overcome phobias or anxiety. This process involves gradually exposing the person to the feared object or situation while teaching them relaxation techniques. Example: suppose someone is afraid of dogs. In systematic desensitization, the therapist would first help the person learn relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing. Then, they might start by showing pictures of dogs, which is a less threatening exposure. Once the person feels comfortable with that, they might watch videos of dogs, then observe a dog from a distance, and finally work up to petting a dog. This gradual exposure helps reduce anxiety and fear. 4. Flooding. Flooding is another technique used to treat phobias and anxiety. but it is more intense than systematic desensitization. In flooding, the individual is exposed to their feared object or situation all at once, rather than gradually. Example, if someone has a fear of heights, flooding might involve taking them to the top of a tall building and having them look down. The idea behind flooding is that by confronting the fear directly and experiencing it in a controlled environment, the individual will realize that their fear is irrational and that they can cope with it. Over time, this exposure may help reduce the fear response. 5. Behavior modification. Behavior modification is a process that uses principles from behaviorism to change specific behaviors. This approach is often used in educational and therapeutic settings to help individuals develop new skills or reduce unwanted behaviors. Example, in a classroom, a teacher might implement a token system as a form of behavior modification. Students earn tokens for positive behaviors, such as completing assignments or helping others. Once they accumulate enough tokens, they can exchange them for a reward, such as extra recess time or a small prize. This system reinforces positive behavior and encourages students to engage in desirable actions. Conclusion. Behaviorism offers valuable insights into how we learn and change behaviors. By focusing on observable actions and the environmental factors that influence them, behaviorists have developed effective techniques for teaching, therapy, and behavior modification. Key concepts such as classical conditioning, operant conditioning, systematic desensitization, flooding, and behavior modification provide a framework for understanding how behaviors are formed and how they can be changed. By applying these principles, we can improve learning, overcome fears, and develop healthier habits. Transactional analysis. Key concepts: ego states, transactions, life positions, games people play. Transactional analysis. Transactional analysis is a psychological theory developed by Eric Berne in the 1950s. It focuses on understanding how individuals communicate and interact with one another. TA is based on the idea that our personalities are made up of different ego states, which influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. By understanding these ego states and how they interact in transactions, we can improve our communication and relationships. This guide will break down the key concepts of TA in simple terms, with examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of transactional analysis. 1. Ego states. Ego states are distinct parts of our personality that influence how we think, feel, and behave in different situations. According to Berne, there are 3 primary ego states: parent, adult, and child. Each of these states represents a different way of interacting with the world. Parent. The parent ego state is made up of rules, beliefs, and attitudes that we have learned from authority figures, such as parents, teachers, and society. It can be nurturing or critical. Example, when someone says, "You should always do your best," they're speaking from their parent ego state, reflecting the values and beliefs they learned from others. Adult. The adult ego state is rational and objective. It focuses on the present moment and uses logic and reasoning to make decisions. The adult state helps us analyze situations and respond appropriately based on facts rather than emotions or past experiences. Example, if someone assesses a problem by gathering information and considering possible solutions, they are operating from their adult ego state. Child. The child ego state represents our feelings, instincts, and creativity. It encompasses the emotions and experiences from our childhood, both positive and negative. The child can be playful and spontaneous or vulnerable and needy. Example, when someone feels excited about a new experience like going to an amusement park, they're likely expressing their child state, reflecting the joy and wonder of childhood. 2. Transactions. Transactions refer to the interactions between people, which can involve communication between different ego states. Understanding transactions helps us see how people relate to one another in conversations and relationships. There are 3 types of transactions. Complementary transactions. These occur when the sender and receiver communicate from matching ego states. For example, if a parent figure gives advice and the other person responds by seeking guidance, this is a complementary transaction. Cross transactions. These happen when the sender and receiver communicate from mismatched ego states, leading to misunderstandings or conflict. For example, If an adult tries to discuss a problem logically, but the other person responds with childlike emotions or defensiveness, this creates a cross-transaction. Ulterior transactions. These involve two levels of communication, where one message is sent on the surface while another is implied. For example, if someone says, "Nice job on that project," but their tone suggests sarcasm, they're using ulterior transactions, where the hidden message may be critical rather than supportive. 3. Life positions. Life positions are the beliefs and attitudes that individuals hold about themselves and others, which influence their interactions. Byrne identified 4 primary life positions based on how people perceive themselves and others. 1. I'm okay, you're okay. This is the healthiest position. Individuals believe in their self-worth and also recognize the worth of others. They have positive and constructive relationships. 2. I'm okay, you're not okay. In this position, individuals feel superior to others. They may judge or criticize others while holding a positive view of themselves. This can lead to conflict and resentment. 3. I'm not okay, you're okay. Here, individuals feel inferior or unworthy. They may put others on a pedestal and struggle with self-esteem. This position often leads to submissive behavior and a lack of assertiveness. 4. I'm not okay, you're not okay. In this position, individuals have a negative view of themselves and others. They may feel hopeless and disengaged from relationships, leading to isolation and despair. Understanding life positions can help individuals identify their beliefs and attitudes, allowing them to shift towards healthier perspectives and improve their relationships. 4. Games people play. Byrne also introduced the concept of games in transactional analysis. These are repetitive patterns of behavior or interactions that people engage in, often unconsciously. Games can be harmful, as they can lead to misunderstandings and negative emotions. Example: one common game is called "Why Don't You? Yes, But." In this game, one person presents a problem and asks for suggestions, but then dismisses all the advice given. This creates frustration for those trying to help and reinforces the idea that the person presenting the problem is not open to change. Another example is "I'm only trying to help," where someone offers unsolicited advice or help, but their true motive is to feel superior or control the situation. This game can lead to resentment from the person receiving the help. By recognizing the games we play, we can break free from these patterns and engage in healthier, more constructive interactions. Conclusion: transactional analysis provides a valuable framework for understanding human behavior and communication. By exploring key concepts such as ego states, transactions, life positions, and games, we can gain insight into our interactions with others. Recognizing which ego state we are operating from helps us understand our motivations and reactions. Understanding transactions allows us to improve our communication skills and resolve conflicts. By becoming aware of our life positions, we can shift towards healthier beliefs and attitudes, leading to better relationships. Finally, recognizing the games we play can help us break free from unproductive patterns and foster more meaningful connections with others. Overall, TA encourages self-awareness and personal growth, making it a powerful tool for improving our interactions and enhancing our understanding of ourselves and others. Existential counseling, logotherapy. Key concepts: meaning in life, freedom of choice, responsibility. Existential counseling, logotherapy. Existential counseling and logotherapy are therapeutic approaches developed by Viktor Frankl, an Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. Frankl's work emphasizes the importance of finding meaning in life, making choices, and taking responsibility for our actions. These ideas can help people cope with difficult situations and lead more fulfilling lives. In this guide, we will explore the key concepts of existential counseling and logotherapy in simple terms, along with examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of existential counseling and logotherapy. 1. Meaning in life. One of the central ideas of Frankl's philosophy is that finding meaning in life is essential for mental health and well-being. Frankl believed that every individual has the capacity to find purpose, even in the most challenging circumstances. He argued that when people have a sense of meaning, they can endure suffering and navigate difficult times more effectively. Example, consider a person who has lost their job. Instead of feeling hopeless, they may reflect on what they truly value in life, such as family, creativity, or helping others. By finding meaning in their situation, perhaps viewing it as an opportunity to pursue a passion or start a new venture, they can regain motivation and a sense of purpose. Frankl often shared his experiences in a concentration camp during World War II, where he observed that those who found meaning in their suffering were more likely to survive. This highlights the importance of having a purpose in life, even in the face of adversity. 2. Freedom of choice. Another key concept in Frankl's work is the idea of freedom of choice. He believed that individuals always have the ability to choose their attitudes and responses to any situation, no matter how difficult it may be. This freedom allows people to take control of their lives and make decisions that align with their values and sense of purpose. Example, imagine someone facing a serious illness. They may be unable to control their diagnosis or the physical symptoms they experience, but they can choose how to respond emotionally and mentally. They might decide to focus on the support of loved ones, seek new experiences, or dedicate time to advocacy for others in similar situations. This choice empowers them and helps them maintain a sense of agency in their life. Frankl believed that this freedom of choice is fundamental to human dignity. Even in the most oppressive circumstances, individuals can find ways to assert their freedom through their attitudes and choices. 3. Responsibility. Along with the freedom to choose comes the concept of responsibility. Frankl emphasized that with freedom of choice, individuals have a responsibility to make meaningful choices that reflect their values and contribute to their well-being and the well-being of others. Example, if someone witnesses bullying at school, they have the freedom to choose how to respond. They can either ignore it or take action by standing up for the victim, reporting the incident, or offering support to the person being bullied. The responsible choice demonstrates their commitment to creating a positive environment and standing up for what is right. Frankl believed that taking responsibility for our actions and choices leads to a more meaningful life. Accepting responsibility encourages personal growth and helps individuals align their actions with their values. Conclusion. Existential counseling and logotherapy, as developed by Viktor Frankl, provide valuable insights into finding meaning in life, exercising freedom of choice, and accepting responsibility for our actions. These concepts encourage individuals to reflect on their values and purpose, even in difficult circumstances. By understanding the importance of meaning in life, individuals can navigate challenges with resilience. Recognizing the freedom of choice empowers people to take control of their lives and make decisions that align with their beliefs. Finally, accepting responsibility for our choices fosters personal growth and contributes to a sense of fulfillment. Frankl's teachings remind us that, despite life's challenges, we have the power to create meaning, make choices, and take responsibility for our actions, ultimately leading to a more purposeful and satisfying life. Gestalt therapy. Key concepts: awareness, empty chair technique, experiential and phenomenological approach. Gestalt therapy. Gestalt therapy is a form of psychotherapy developed by Fritz Perls in the mid-20th century. This approach focuses on helping individuals gain awareness of their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in the present moment. Gestalt therapy emphasizes the importance of the here and now, encouraging clients to experience their emotions and interactions more fully. In this guide, we will explore the key concepts of Gestalt therapy in simple terms, with examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of Gestalt therapy. 1. Awareness. One of the central ideas of Gestalt therapy is awareness, especially focusing on the here and now. This means paying attention to what is happening in the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Awareness involves recognizing your feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations as they occur. Example, imagine someone who feels anxious about an upcoming exam. Instead of ruminating on past failures or worrying about future outcomes, a Gestalt therapist would encourage them to focus on their current feelings of anxiety. They might ask the client to notice where they feel the tension in their body or what thoughts are racing through their mind right now. This practice helps the individual become more aware of their emotional state and how it affects their behavior. By cultivating awareness, clients can better understand their reactions and gain insights into their patterns of behavior, leading to personal growth and change. Deux empty chair technique. The empty chair technique is a powerful tool used in Gestalt therapy to help clients express and confront their feelings. In this technique, a client imagines that a person is sitting in an empty chair across from them. The client then engages in a conversation with this imagined person, expressing their thoughts, feelings, and unresolved issues. Example: suppose someone has unresolved feelings about a parent who has passed away. During a therapy session, the therapist might set up an empty chair and ask the client to imagine their parent sitting there. The client could then express their feelings of anger, sadness, or love directly to the empty chair. After speaking, the therapist may encourage the client to switch roles and respond as their parent, helping them explore the situation from another perspective. This technique allows clients to process emotions, gain clarity about their relationships, and develop a deeper understanding of their feelings. It can be especially effective for addressing unresolved conflicts or expressing emotions that are difficult to articulate. 3. Experiential and phenomenological approach. Gestalt therapy takes an experiential and phenomenological approach to therapy. Experiential approach. This means that therapy focuses on direct experiences rather than just talking about problems. Clients are encouraged to engage with their feelings and behaviors in the present moment. This experiential focus helps individuals connect with their emotions and gain insights through action and awareness. Example: in a therapy session, a client might be asked to act out a situation that makes them uncomfortable, such as a conflict with a friend. By physically reenacting the scenario, the client can better understand their feelings and reactions, leading to new insights and ways to approach the situation. Phenomenological approach. This aspect emphasizes understanding each person's unique perspective and experience. Therapists strive to understand how clients perceive their world and their feelings without judgment. Example: if a client shares that they feel misunderstood by others, the therapist would listen attentively and try to understand the client's perspective without imposing their own views. This approach validates the client's feelings and helps them explore their experiences more deeply. By combining experiential and phenomenological approaches, Gestalt therapy encourages clients to engage with their emotions and experiences in a supportive environment, fostering personal growth and self-awareness. Conclusion: Gestalt therapy, developed by Fritz Perls, offers a unique approach to psychotherapy that emphasizes awareness in the present moment, the use of techniques like the empty chair technique, and a focus on experiential and phenomenological understanding. By cultivating awareness, clients can better understand their feelings and behaviors. The empty chair technique provides a powerful way to express and process emotions, while the experiential and phenomenological approaches help individuals connect with their unique experiences without judgment. Overall, Gestalt therapy encourages individuals to embrace their feelings, enhance their self-awareness, and take responsibility for their thoughts and actions, leading to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Reality therapy key concepts: basic needs, choice theory, focus on present identity. Reality therapy. Reality therapy is a therapeutic approach developed by William Glasser in the 1960s. This method focuses on helping individuals take control of their lives by making choices that fulfill their basic needs and improve their well-being. Reality therapy emphasizes personal responsibility, self-evaluation, and the importance of present actions rather than past experiences. In this guide, we will explore the key concepts of reality therapy in simple terms, with examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of reality therapy. 1. Basic needs. According to Glasser, all humans have certain basic needs that must be met to achieve mental and emotional well-being. He identified 5 basic needs. Survival. This includes physical needs like food, water, shelter, and safety. Love and belonging. The need for meaningful relationships, affection, and social connections. Power. The need for self-esteem, achievement, and a sense of control over one's life. Freedom. The need for independence, choice, and autonomy in decision-making. Fun. The need for enjoyment, play, and leisure activities. Example: imagine a student who feels unhappy and unmotivated in school. By exploring their basic needs, the therapist may discover that the student lacks a sense of belonging and feels overwhelmed by the pressure to achieve good grades. Addressing these needs, such as encouraging the student to join a club or participate in activities they enjoy, can help improve their overall well-being. 2. Choice theory. Choice theory is a fundamental concept in reality therapy. It posits that individuals have control over their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and that they make choices based on their basic needs. Glasser emphasized that people are not driven by external factors or past experiences, but rather by their current desires and the choices they make to fulfill those needs. Example: consider a person who feels unhappy in their job. Instead of blaming their boss or coworkers, reality therapy encourages them to reflect on their choices. They might ask themselves questions like, what can I do to improve my situation? Or what steps can I take to find a job that aligns with my interests? This self-reflection empowers individuals to take responsibility for their happiness and make positive changes. 3. Focus on present identity. Reality therapy emphasizes the importance of focusing on present identity rather than dwelling on past experiences or problems. Glasser believed that individuals should concentrate on what they can do right now to improve their lives. This approach encourages clients to evaluate their current behaviors and choices rather than getting stuck in negative patterns from the past. Example: a client may come to therapy feeling anxious about their future. Instead of discussing past failures or regrets, the therapist would guide the client to identify what they can do today to feel more secure about their future. This might involve setting small, achievable goals, such as creating a budget, seeking new job opportunities, or developing new skills. By focusing on the present, clients can take actionable steps toward building a better future for themselves. Conclusion: reality therapy, developed by William Glasser, provides a practical framework for individuals to take control of their lives and make choices that fulfill their basic needs. By understanding the importance of basic needs, embracing choice theory, and focusing on present identity, clients can enhance their self-awareness and achieve greater well-being. This therapeutic approach empowers individuals to recognize their ability to make choices, take responsibility for their actions, and actively work toward fulfilling their needs. Ultimately, reality therapy encourages people to live more intentionally, fostering a sense of agency and purpose in their lives. Person-centered counseling. Key concepts: client-centered therapy, conditions for growth. Person-centered counseling. Person-centered counseling, also known as client-centered therapy, was developed by Carl Rogers in the 1940s and 1950s. This approach emphasizes the importance of the individual's subjective experience and encourages personal growth through a supportive therapeutic relationship. Rogers believed that people have an innate ability to understand themselves and make positive changes in their lives. In this guide, we will explore the key concepts of person-centered counseling in simple terms, along with examples to illustrate each idea. Key concepts of person-centered counseling. 1. Client-centered therapy. Client-centered therapy is the core of Rogers' approach. It places the client at the center of the therapeutic process, meaning the client leads the conversation and determines the direction of their therapy. The therapist's role is to create a safe and supportive environment where clients can explore their thoughts and feelings without judgment. Example: if a client comes to therapy feeling anxious about their relationships, the therapist will encourage the client to share their feelings and experiences. Instead of telling the client what to do, the therapist listens attentively and helps them explore their emotions. This allows the client to reflect on their thoughts and discover their own solutions to their problems. Rogers believed that when clients feel safe and understood, they're more likely to explore their feelings deeply and make meaningful changes in their lives. 2. Conditions for growth. Rogers identified 3 essential conditions for growth that must be present in the therapeutic relationship for clients to achieve personal development. These conditions are empathy, congruence, and unconditional positive regard. Empathy. Empathy refers to the therapist's ability to understand and share the feelings of the client. It involves putting oneself in the client's shoes and experiencing their emotions from their perspective. This helps clients feel heard and validated. Example: if a client expresses sadness about a recent breakup, an empathetic therapist might say, It sounds like you're feeling really hurt and alone right now. This acknowledgement shows the client that the therapist truly understands their pain and is there to support them. Congruence. Congruence means that the therapist is genuine and authentic in their interactions with the client. The therapist does not hide behind a professional facade, but instead expresses their true thoughts and feelings appropriately. This openness fosters trust and encourages clients to be honest about their own feelings. Example: if a therapist feels concerned about a client's well-being, they might express that concern in a respectful way, saying something like, "I want to make sure you're okay because I care about your progress." This honesty helps create a safe space where clients feel comfortable being themselves. Unconditional positive regard. Unconditional positive regard is the acceptance and support that a therapist offers to the client, regardless of what the client says or does. It means valuing the client as a person without judgment or conditions. This acceptance allows clients to explore their feelings without fear of criticism. Example: if a client shares a difficult experience or a mistake they've made, an accepting therapist would respond with understanding and support rather than judgment. They might say, "It's okay to feel that way. Everyone makes mistakes. What's important is how you want to move forward." This attitude encourages clients to open up and explore their feelings more freely. Conclusion. Person-centered counseling, developed by Carl Rogers, emphasizes the importance of the client in the therapeutic process. By focusing on client-centered therapy and the essential conditions for growth, empathy, congruence, and unconditional